To Bigfoot call or fat girl fart. You make the choice. Somebody had the nerve to say that we needed a new theme song. So I said, if you think we need a new theme song, that's fine. Why don't you write one and produce one for us? Oh, no. No, I just think you need, you've been using the same song for 9 years. I'm like, it's the Squatchers Lounge podcast theme. It's literally the song, the music that we have used since the beginning of the show. And no, we're not going to get rid of it. Anyhow, welcome to the show, everybody. That's right. I am here, the Reverend Jeff Kelly. This is the Squatchers Lounge podcast. And with us tonight is the king of Quasi, the man, the Reverend Dean Cooper. Hello there, sir.
Hello there. I noticed that the picture you got of me down in the lower right-hand corner has more hair than I do now, but his beard's shorter.
Well, yeah, that's because you picked all your hair out when you came from home from the hospital on weird ass medication.
No. This is that's all grown out again. My hair's back here, but it's kind of receding.
Yeah, I'm letting the beard come in. I've let the neck beard start. The neck beard is in full support. And I've got the first. I've got the first wave, the beard has got the first, that first Viking wave in it. I don't know if you guys have known recently, I've learned that I'm an eighth friggin' Nordic from Sweden. The Earls of Sweden, as a matter of fact, the Guyan family goes all the way back to the first Viking burial found in America as well, over there in Massachusetts.
Earls?
Yes, Earls. Earls are like chieftains.
Yeah, but there also was another term for there's one called the Erlkönig, the Elf King.
The Elf King. Well, we weren't elves, so but yeah.
As far as your nose, and your ears are not pointy.
I don't wear green shiny shoes with spirals on them, so. But we are talking about Mindspeak and Woo tonight, so you never know where we're going to end up by the time this is all over. That's absolutely for sure. This is the season of the Reverend Explains It All, and you've got two reverends up here going to try and explain to you what is the idea of what Mindspeak is and what Mindspeak isn't. And let's start out. I've actually been able to pull some actual crap about Mindspeak up. Anyhow, here is the bendsource.com, written by Isaac Bile, Biehl. Is that Bile? Bile? I don't know.
Biehl?
Yeah, Biehl. I'm usually a cunning linguist, but it's like, yeah. Would you like to buy a weird, an extra? There should be a vowel in there between the H and the L. You need to buy a vowel. I mean, let's go on. Spin the wheel. Okay. Yeah. So we start out immediately. Like if you do a search on Mindspeak on Google, I mean, you literally start to come up with articles like this. He talks with Sasquatch. Two Bigfoot experts head to Bend to share their experiences. Kawani leprositis. Lapsaritis, sorry, and his wife Kelly Lapsaritis are two of the most prominent figures in the Sasquatch lore community. Yeah, prominently known as wackadoos. Kawani has a background in conversation, anthropology, dowsing, a technique for searching for underground water, minerals, and anything invisible, by observing the motion of a pointer or the changes in direction of a pendulum. Psychology and holistic health. Now, pardon me for a moment while I digress. You would think that a study of psychology would not hold evidence some of the other shit that's in his list of attributes here. But again, we continue on with the psychic Sasquatch interdimensional connection, and also made 2 appearances on the Discovery Channel. So here's Kawani and his wife and his son and the Sasquatch people with their long. He's got such beautiful blonde flowing hair. You remember that guy in the interview of all the old Bigfoot documentaries? I think he was from Oklahoma with the stick. Get on out of here. Get gone. Yeah, he's also sitting with the frog alien and whatever that pixie thing is from the, there's some kind of a skinwalker up on the ridge. There's some UFOs going on. I mean, Kawani has his toe in just about everything.
Aren't the Kiwanis something like the Rotary Club?
The Quines. Yeah, I remember those when I was a kid. That was another. That was another one of those, not exactly a secret organization, but it was never understood. They sat around and played canasta, I mean, whatever that is. I'm not really sure.
It's like Wakanda, okay? Wakanda is a town about 25 miles north of me, right by Wakanda Lake.
But it's not like Wakanda from the movies.
No, it's near the border with Wisconsin, yeah.
Now, here's the important part here. Now, Kelly is the author of the Sasquatch Message to Humanity series, mind you.
Yeah.
And is a clairvoyant energy worker, wellness consultant, and more. The 2 host the popular Psychic Sasquatch Spiritual Retreat in Shawala, Washington, that brings in people from all over the globe. Now, is this Jim Jones? For those of you who don't know who Jim Jones was, Jim Jones was a cult leader, took a bunch of people to South America. They called it Jonestown. They started a community, and then he poisoned everybody with Kool-Aid and didn't drink it himself.
Yeah. But I think
told them that they were going to go to heaaven and start their own fiasco. And
didn't he and his wife kill themselves otherwise or something?
I'm pretty sure I'm sure they couldn't face the police or anybody else, so I'm sure they off themselves at some point. But what we wanted to come down, what I wanted to get from this particular article is they asked, what are some of the messages the Sasquatch people give you? Do they have views on the way we live? I mean, they're interviewing these people as if this is a real thing. And that's the scary part, because much like we talk about with Matthew Johnson, the cultism of the sycophants seems to be what this is. And if you don't know what a sycophant is, it's a big fancy word for a suck on. I mean, that's just somebody who just sucks on to whatever the particular novelty is at that particular moment and don't want to cause any waves to it and treat it all like it's real because, well, they believe it's real, so it must be to them. And to them, it probably is. Like I said, Dr. Johnson probably sees invisible things in his mind that play with his crotch because he's got a brain injury. But the people that believe it and agree with him are the ones that are really what the problem is. But anyhow, Kawani like Presidius responds, yes, they say a lot of what we do is childish because we're unaware of the way the rest of the cosmos and what is going on in the world of what we're doing to the planet. They said right now the planet is dying, and if we don't do something, the humans on the planet will be number 1 on the extinction list. They also said that World War III has basically started, but they just haven't dropped the bombs yet. That's going in this direction. Okay, how does Sasquatch even have a concept of bombs or nuclear friggin' destruction or any of that?
Jeffrey, you said nuclear.
Nuclear. Okay, I'm sorry. Nuclear. I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't, I'm from the South, damn it. You're not supposed to language shame me, sir. Don't you know that that's bullying? Words hurt.
I suppose, but I'm old enough that I remember having to hide under the desk in grade school.
Dude, I was there. No, yeah, me too. We definitely had Cold War friggin' drills, man, where everybody kind of dived underneath their desk, and I'm like, well, congratulations, you survived the roof collapsing, but now you're trapped. I mean, what was the point of climbing under the damn? If the roof was coming down, bro, that $18 that $18 school desk isn't going to save your ass.
By fifth grade, we were already using the phrase, "Yeah, we put our head down there between our legs to kiss our ass."
Our ass goodbye. Yeah, that's exactly. Put your head between your legs, kiss your ass goodbye. That's exactly why you put your heads between your legs before you crash on an airplane, because you got a chance to kiss your ass goodbye. That's kind of what happens. One of the other articles that I found along the same pathway here was from the Crypto Cruise website, and Thomas Markham. Now, Thomas Markham, man, dude does a lot of research. I mean, a lot of research, both in the field and off the field, in books, and he writes books. He's produced, quite a few documentaries. There's a bunch of stuff out there that you can watch on like Amazon and Netflix, but you better get them quick, because like all that stuff's disappearing. I don't know if you're aware of that, Dean, or not, but basically these big streaming houses are purging anything that's not really worth the squeeze, as they say.
Yeah, that gets few watches.
Right. They're purging all that stuff, and it's getting to be a lot more difficult for people to, self-publish their video to Netflix and Amazon, which is a shame, because, that's going to limit the amount of exposure that a lot of the filmmakers that, don't have any other way to get their stuff out there. But
they don't go into the full-blown purge, if you've seen those movies.
Yeah, right on. Hey, I'm almost down for a purge. I got a few people on my list that I could, it might take 3 or 4 years of purges to get them done through, but I could definitely, there's some payback coming. This is egregious. We were cellmates. You got payback coming, boy. Their idea of Mindspeak, as Tom was saying, is Bigfoot Mindspeak is just basically telepathy, the ability of one person, in this case said Bigfoot, to communicate with another person, said a person like a human, using only the mind, to speak or talk to a person without using verbal sounds, to use your mind to send thoughts and words to another being. In other words, you'll hear a voice in your mind talking to you. Many researchers have made the claims that they have had this happen while being around Bigfoot. Some even claim that they communicate with Mindspeak very often or on a regular basis with Bigfoot. Now, I know of no way a Bigfoot researcher could prove that a Bigfoot was mind-speaking to them, and that's not true. If it were possible, and now we can get into our philosophical discussion of, whatever the case may be. But if it were true, if a Bigfoot were able to mind speak with a person in words and convey thoughts, and the person was able to convey thoughts back to that Bigfoot, it would be real easy to prove that you've done it. Person A takes big bright yellow ball, and puts it in location, tells Bigfoot where location is, go move yellow ball from this location to that location. Person goes back next day to new location, finds yellow ball.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a real experiment and you know that nobody else is in on it, nobody's hoaxing it, there's not another person moving the ball from one location to the other. If the ball location moves, well, then communication was achieved. I have absolutely no doubt whatsoever. Very simple test. Don't even tell them that. Bring me a handful of purple carpet, which is a wildflower. I mean, they would know what purple carpet was. Bring me a handful of purple carpet and leave it on this stump.
Now, I would throw in here, if you're experiencing Mindspeak and you start barfing green stuff and your head spins around, you need an exorcism.
Yeah. Well, you're being possessed. And I'm not. I know that true evil exists in the world. I've lived enough of my life in places, and I know and have seen things that no other human being should really see. And I know that true evil exists on this planet. And I don't know whether it's a psychological condition or whether these people are really, really possessed by something that truly is evil. Some kind of ancient evil that just 1 in a billion, 1 in a million people just get wrapped up in the middle of this oh shit moment. And
but it's usually performed by one or a group of humans, another group of humans, or nasty things to animals or something like that.
Right. And the other question becomes too, are those internal monologues that every human has, whether you recognize it or not. Everybody has multiple personalities. You see people's moods change drastically. It's just it is a fact of the human condition that our minds will trigger our thoughts to be a certain way in certain situations. Like me, I'm an idiot. Okay, I don't run away from danger. I run into it. I mean, and that's just like the dumbest thing a human being can really do is run towards danger, because that's just stupid. If you can run away from danger, get the hell out of there.
I have to admit, while I've never been in some of the situations you've been in, my tendency is to stand and confront it as opposed to run.
Yeah, exactly. That's the same thing. I should. I mean, ideally, you don't want to get that ick on you. Know that nobody wants that ick. Don't you wish that evil on me, Ricky Bobby? Don't you do it? Yeah. I mean, seriously. I mean, that's why. Okay, so it was like 10 days ago, maybe 11 days ago. It was before we got the new puppy. The wife and I are sitting here in the living room and we're watching TV, and I shit you not, a U.S. dime materialized in midair, fell to the ground, and spun. Now, the wife and I were both watching. We both saw it. I wish to God I had a camera in here that was recording all the time that would have caught that, because it like 3 feet off the ground, it just materialized, fell to the ground, and spun. We don't have dimes. I got a bunch of quarters sitting on my desk, but there ain't a dime anywhere in this living room, and hasn't been probably since we moved in here. Yeah. Wallets are out in the kitchen. We don't, all that's money is out there. There's nothing in this room that would have knocked it, and there was nobody moving to knock a dime off of anything.
I got a real quick one. Okay. Live in an real old house. It's over 100 years old now. Got a nice refrigerator, but I didn't bother putting in an automatic water dispenser, an ice cube maker, because you'd have to drill holes in the 100-year-old oak floor and all that sort of stuff. So we got ice cube trays, and you got to fill them up, put them in the freezer. And very frequently, we usually got 4 in there, 3 set up and 1 freezing. There will be frequently in the middle of a tray 2 empty ones. Now, when you're filling them up at the sink and you run the water down the middle, they all
right. If the bottom's filled, then the middle's filled.
Yeah. So how the hell are we missing 2 ice cubes?
Well, that would be weird for a demon to be taking 2 ice cubes, but who knows? Maybe it's an interdimensional Bigfoot, and he needs some for his tea.
Maybe we should run my woo hypothesis redux.
Yeah, let's let that would be a good time. Why don't we go ahead and run that now, and then we shall say hello to everybody in the hangout and continue on. So get used to, here we go, the quasi woo redo. And now, quasi theories from a quasi scientist with your host, Dean Cooper.
The woo hypothesis redux. My very first quasi theory was revealed as part of the Squatchers Lounge podcast on October 7th, 2015, almost 3 years ago. That podcast is titled Man Cast the Same Bigfoot Tracks 300 Miles Apart, Squatchers Lounge Podcast Season 3, Episode 40. Don't do that. It was a good episode and is well worth watching or rewatching for us long-term Squatchers Loungers. The title of the theory was the woo hypothesis. It is high time to readdress that hypothesis. My motivation for doing so has been my rereading of all of John Keel's books. He's got a lot of big, hairy, red, glowing-eyed, apish creatures popping out of, going back into, and otherwise associated with UFOs in those books. Much of the following has been cut, pasted, edited, and otherwise rewritten from that first quasi-theory, as opposed to my usual method of ripping off Wikipedia. Come on, cut me a break. I nearly always say when I'm quoting somebody else. Anyways, that first quasi was inspired by the brouhaha over a certain individual who claimed to have observed Sasquatch emerging from and returning to what he called portals. These Sasquatches also exhibited a variety of what are commonly called paranormal phenomena, the which phenomena have come to be termed woo around these parts anyways, and woo as in spooky, as in woo. Now, I am by nature not argumentative. I always assume, as a working hypothesis, that people who have observed and reported Sasquatch engaging in paranormal activities, or woo, are not lying about their observations until proven otherwise. Allow me to interject here that personally, I think that there are almost certainly is or are one or more species of unidentified upright walking apes running about the planet, genus or genera being unknown. I will now present my hypothesis concerning areas where Sasquatch have been exhibiting woo. Simply put, the hypothesis is this. These places have a bad case of the fairies. That is to say, the good folk, the gentry, the Elshi, as in Banshee and Pictshi, the Celtic terms for these annoying buggers. Those that take an animal form are called pukas. Just as in the case of our Bigfoot, every continent, every older culture has stories about non-physical entities that can delude humans and sometimes manifest a seeable form, make audible noises, produce smellable odors, induce emotions in the observer, and generally make things go bump in the night. John Keel proposed that such entities are hostile to humans and come from some other dimensions with naughty intentions. I think they are perfectly natural entities that occasionally like to flabbergast us. The form they assume is taken from our minds and the current surrounding culture, as are their actions, which is why much of what they do is inexplicable, since much of what is in our minds and our cultures is equally inexplicable, at least to a rational mind. I personally have occasionally run into some of these woo critters. My experiences with them are described in several other quasi-theories I've done. Now, where do these creatures come from? They come from wherever subatomic particles pop out from and disappear back to, where photons that are quantum entangled talk to each other. A higher order Riemannian phase space, of which our world is a multiply connected subset of that higher order. In other words, the astral plane. That said, any of these beings that have the time to waste on dorking about with us humans are of a low order and not very bright. Some are quite territorial and radiate anger and hostility. I chased one around the basement of an old house once. They back off when confronted. At least they back off when I confront them. I don't know about you sissies. They don't do portals, but they can sure make you see one, along with demons, guardian Ewoks, mind-speaking forest people, or what have you. They're the sylphs, the naiads, the dryads of Greek mythology, and the lower-order devas of Hinduism. Sometimes these days they're called nature spirits. So in conclusion, if the Bigfoot you see comes from a portal, that ain't a Bigfoot, it's a bloody fairy. You may read the text of this hypothesis on my blog, My Blatherings, at bydean.com. That's BHAIDIN.com. Or you can listen to it on my YouTube channel. There's a ton of Dean Coopers there. Just search and scroll until you see the guy who looks like an old wizard.
Like a crazy old wizard. All right, everybody, we are back.
Yeah, that's still one of my favorite ones.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If you see a Bigfoot coming from a portal, it's not a Bigfoot. It's a God-blessed fairy. Hey, by the way, this show is not for children. It's not made for children under the age of 13. If you're not listening to this with a parent and you're under age 13, go ask them if they give a damn. Chances are the answer is no. It's the truth, man. This day and age, parents, this is the least of their concern. But, with YouTube liability, I want to make sure that I'm, I'm staying on the ball here with making sure that they know this isn't for children. Some lady posted on one of them. We got into some kind of weird discussion. I thought this show was gonna be for the family. I'm so disappointed. I was like, you've never watched this show before, have you? I've got a show out there on our movie channel with 246 bucks. That is $5 per minute, man. I'm telling you, it was a hell of a show. Me and your old pal Wes doing Bigfoot movie reviews. Oh, good Lord in heaven. Sometimes you just can't help it. The F-bomb just drops and drops. Speaking of F-bombs, let's get and see who's hanging out live with us tonight. It's kind of a short list, so we won't have to be here long. David Lee checked in first tonight. He says, woo is poo. And we're well, I mean, as far as Bigfoot is concerned, Bigfoot woo is definitely poo. That's why I am the Reverend Jeff Kelly, because I'm here to guide you and be your shepherd and wade you through the knee-deep sewage that is the Bigfoot world. I mean, it's getting even worse these days. There's the Reverend Tim McCune. Hello there, Reverend Tim. I hope you are feeling well. And there's Mr. Shane Barber. I'm not sure if Shane's a reverend yet or not. The Universal Life Church is free. It doesn't cost you anything. You too can join the ranks of Reverend Jeff. I'm actually Reverend Captain.
If you want the badge and everything, it's like $35-$40.
It's like $40 for the package, but that's where they make their money, But as far as just putting you on the roll books as a registered member, you can then go get your license from the state. That's all that really matters, is that you can get your credentials from the state, because they can look it up online and see that you are ordained. That's all that really matters. The Reverend Rodney Dupree. Hello, Reverend Rodney. We are coming up on the Pi trip in September. Last week of September is when we are going to Pi this year. So if you guys want to get a spot with me, let me know, because it's going to be an interesting trip. That is for sure. Frank G's checking in with us tonight. Hello there, Frank G. I just always want to put a string at the end of that, and I don't know why. Can Squanch, there she is. I think that's a she. I wish somebody would tell me for sure. I hate being wrong. I don't know. Whatever. There's the Reverend Jeff Kelly. That jackass is checking in with us tonight. Kevin K 208. Hello there, Kevin K. Good evening and hallelujah. There's Miss Bella Allegria. Hello there, young lady. I hope you are still feeling well and doing your thing. Enjoying life now that you've been deemed cancer free. There's the Mr. Fang. I don't know if you know Morse code out there, but that probably said something. I'm not sure. Long, short, long, short. No, it's long, short, long. Yeah. Long, short, long. There's the Viking Don Rife. Hello there, sir. Fellow Viking. I have to get me some Viking clothes now. I've been learning to cook Viking food. Seriously, it's not bad. Surprisingly, they had oregano and thyme. You'd think it was Italy, but not so much. They, that was literally like the main spices of the Viking era was oregano and thyme for the area, at least in my area, Sweden. A lot of dried fish, a lot of lamb, a lot of cheese, barley. Big time barley eaters, barley flour, barley this, barley that, barley muffins, barley bread, barley. Anyhow, moving right along here. Jolly Jake Lovell. Hello there, Jolly Jake. Are you related to Jim Lovell? Because he didn't have such a good trip on the 13th of the month. What was that, November? You know who Jim Lovell is?
No.
Apollo 13.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a problem that day. Life Dweller. Hello there, Life Dweller. I kind of like that. I am a citizen of the world. I am. And I am here because I was born here on this land. All right. Well, then that looks like everybody has checked in. 55 Debacle 1. Franklin! Dick Jones. Hello, Dick Jones. Sounds like a Vegas singer, doesn't it? Dick Jones. And now coming up on the stage, that's right. You always wanted to put your hands together for Dick Jones. All right. Comes out singing like an Elvis impersonator. Sorry. Not trying to make fun of you, bro. Really not. I think anybody that can call themselves Dick with a straight face is like my hero. I mean, you've definitely got bigger balls than I do. You know, I mean, Lance Windsor. Hello there, Windsor Lance,
Hey,
great
Wayne.
white investigator. Okay, let's see here. I think that's everybody. My pronoun is he. Okay, there you go, Can Squanch. Yeah, it's funny. I was telling Dean before the show, I had a telephone visit with my doctor this week, and the nurse called to set up my chart for the doctor before, and she started asking me some personal questions that weren't filled out in my chart, like if I had any siblings, and then she asked me if I had any kids. I was like, oh yeah, I have two children, and then I was just quiet on purpose. And the lady asked, well, are they boys or are they girls? And I was like, oh, I didn't think in California you were allowed to ask that question. They were born with penises. So however you can fill out your form that they were born with penises, that's what my children were. So it was just funny that my pronoun is he. Thank you, Can Squanch. Now I am sure for sure that you're a dude. And we're okay with that. I don't know.
I actually already knew that now that I think about it.
It was the Christie Monster Truck gal that changed her name to something else, and I don't remember what she changed it to, and then she's kind of disappeared on us. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's like Leanne. Leanne just kind of like poofed.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Just
Yeah.
poof. I mean, I tried to call her phone number, never got any response to it. I've tried to contact people that I have mutually, no response from any of those people. It's just like she was running for like mayor of her town or something. I don't know. Maybe an alien ship came and took her, or maybe there was a hit put on her. I have no idea.
She claimed that she had a group of Sasquatches that would come and drink out of her horse watering tank and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe they got her.
Well, the husband had finally seen one and finally figured out that she wasn't full of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked to him and we couldn't get him on the show, but I mean, it was confirmed that dude was like, holy fuck, they're real. I thought she was just a crazy bitch, but she's not. I mean,
she was like in northern Missouri.
Yeah, they were in Kansas City, not Kansas, but Missouri. They were in one of the Twin Cities, but they were outside of it in the rural area. They had a little school. They had an old schoolhouse on the property.
I remember looking the area up and it's like, yeah, it's pretty damn.
It was pretty damn squatchy. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see migrating through the area if nothing else.
It was in the I forget what the mountains are there.
But yeah, she just like up and poofed one day, and it was just really weird.
Never saw her anymore or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I you know, Leanne, if you're still out there, honey, contact us. We miss you. You know, she was part of the core group. We talked to her like almost every day. It was really weird that she just.
The rest of you buggers watching this show, don't pull that same stunt.
Yeah, at least let us know what's going on. Yeah, Mr. Dean, who goes into the hospital and disappears, and I have to search for him for a week till his wife finally sends me a message.
Yeah, well,
twice.
That one I had no. I had nothing to do with that because my kidneys shut down for a week, and I was in the emergency ward, and the COVID had just kicked in, so my wife couldn't even come see me.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Oh, apparently here in California, COVID just gave up on June 15th. So it's just over. It's just over. We were in the red tier on the 14th, but now on the 15th, COVID's just over. It's just over. COVID doesn't care anymore.
We're in the 5th tier here, whatever that means. If you're all vaccinated, you can go do stuff. And ignore the parrot. She says it's time to go to
bed. Yeah. She's such a cutie. Anyhow, all right, let's get back to the idea here of Mindspeak, which is, was the idea last week. Oh, you're so incoherent this week. I'm like, yeah, it happens sometimes. The medication I'm on makes me woozy, especially this time of night after I've taken 3 of them. Not that I've taken 3 of the same one. It's just my 3rd one today, and it's just kind of hard to really keep your mind clear when you're on.
Oh, and it's going woo on us anyways.
Right, exactly. But that's one big dick. Yeah, I guess it is. It's we all love Dick. We all love Dick. Dick, come on, everybody, let's hear it for Dick. I don't know if you've ever seen The Distinguished Gentleman, but with Eddie Murphy, it's the perfect. It's like Idiocracy. Like we're only like 10 years away from Idiocracy. You know, they were 500 years in the future, but I don't think it's going to take that long. But the Distinguished Gentleman with
any minute now, I think.
Yeah, pretty much Idiocracy is going to start, and then I don't mean on TV. I mean in real friggin' life. I mean it's God bless it, man. Yeah. Anyhow, this isn't a political show, but they all suck. They're all just they're just different legs on the same jackass. That's what they are. They're all just competing because they're all poop. They're either poo-pooing because it isn't their jackass, or they're all happy because it is their jackass.
Yeah, but jackass that interbred with a elephant.
Fucking retarded elephant.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Oh man, old Schumer's in trouble this week for calling retarded people retarded. Now he didn't use the word retarded as a slur. He didn't you're friggin' retarded. He talked about getting a school for the retarded children. And they're friggin' throwing the dude under the bus for calling retarded people retarded. It's like that's
when I was growing up.
That's what they were called. The people thought I was retarded till I was like 20.
Their poor condition. That's what they were called. Yeah.
Just ask the kids that I went to high school with, man. I was in both slow learning disability classes and talented and gifted classes because they couldn't figure out if I was a genius or whether I was retarded. It was a confusing time in my life. Let's just put it that way.
Jeffrey me lad. No, I was always in advanced placement stuff.
No, I couldn't do. I don't math good. I'm not autistic because I don't math good. I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I'm beat stuff with a hammer good. You know, there's people that are math good, and then there are people that are beat stuff with a hammer good. I'm beat stuff with a hammer good.
Now, I was all in the upper rung of everything, and didn't do me a hell of a lot of good in later life.
Mindspeak, back at it.
Mindspeak, yeah.
Yeah, so the idea of telepathically communicating from a Bigfoot to a human or a human to a Bigfoot. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say that Bigfoot can't mind speak to each other because I don't know, because I'm not a Bigfoot and I've never, I'm not saying because, apparently if they did come from a portal and they're fairies, then maybe fairies can telepathically communicate with each other. I'm not sure what those people are, but the biological paranthropus that most of us are looking for, that some of us, I can't even say most of us anymore because there's a bunch of weird ass shit going on out there.
Oh yeah.
But some of us, are looking for a paranthropus, beside us, another hominid creature that upright walking, robust bone, fully hairy, not so bright. Same thing that we've had along the human species since the time that we were Homo naledi going the wrong way in Africa, using torches and throwing bodies down pit.
Yeah.
There were paranthropus that were beside them. There were paranthropus that were beside Lucy. There were paranthropus that were beside Erectus and Neanderthalis. Why wouldn't there be paranthropus now?
I've thrown this in before in all sorts of discussions. I was a biology, geology, interdisciplinary major. Much of my geology was paleontology. And one of the things you learn in geology right away is that the fossil record is characterized by huge gaps.
Giant, yes.
Giant gaps. Especially in northern hemisphere where glaciers, especially the past million years or so, glaciers cruise by. I mean, where I'm sitting right now, 20,000 years ago, there was 2 miles of ice over us.
And mammoth walking the plateaus up there.
Actually, they would have been a little further south. But no, I remember one of my teachers lived about 5 miles east of me. He found a mastodon tooth in his backyard. Yeah. Yeah.
The ability to mind speak.
Yeah.
If you want to watch a movie that kind of delves into it, that's not like the most horrible thing in the world, it would probably be Letters to the Big Man or Letters from the Big Man. But I don't. If you want 2 hours of your life back afterwards, I can't give them to you. So just know that going into it, it's not really worth the squeeze. But the Bigfoot is awesome. Like the suit and the face makeup and the dude that they have in the Bigfoot is crazy good. Like crazy good. Like if I saw that thing in the woods, I'd probably take a pop at it. Because
one of my favorites way back in the mid 50s was Abominable Snowman of the Himalayas, I think it was called. And they were mind speaking advanced humans with hairy bodies addressing through telepathy. That might be where the whole thing started.
Well, people like leprositis or whatever that dude's name is. I'm just not a cunning wordsmith tonight. I try to be, but
yeah.
Tommy Boston says, "Yo, Reb, better late than never. What up? What up, G?" Yeah. So letters from the big man is not so bad, but it always seems like these people who claim, Tom Cantrell is another one who claims that he can go up to Bluff Creek to the road overpass at the river and mind speak out to the forest and find Patty and have conversations with Patty. And she wants everybody to know that she's okay, and that she's had plenty of children, and to be good to each other. And
well, she's got a damn long life for an upright walking hominid.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, 67, she would have been full grown, but I mean, if she was breeding, she would probably been in her 20s. So we're only talking 70 years later or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, but she'd be in her 90s now. And
well, they don't really have, sickle cell or anything that's going to kill them off, at least that we know of.
But yeah, I know it's time to go sleepy. We'll do that real soon.
Do they get the Rona? I don't know. I mean, did the Bigfoot have to wear a mask? Did somebody go out into the forest to make sure the Bigfoot wore his mask during the coronavirus?
No, but I bet if they're mind speaking, they got some sort of virus.
Somebody's got a virus that's getting mind spoke to, that is for sure. But the message is always the same. If you're pure of heart and clean of spirit and there with nothing but love and purpose in your heart, then the Bigfoot will come to you.
You got me off on a mental tangent. Even a man who is pure at heart and says his prayers at night can become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the autumn moon is full and bright.
That's right. Inside every man, there's two wolves. One that's good, one that's bad. Which one wouldn't?
Depends on which one's barking up the wrong tree. Okay. We should end about now, Jeffrey.
It depends on which one you feed.
Yeah.
That's the one that wins. So, yeah, I mean, wrapping it up in the Mind Speaks episode to it, I think we're just delved too far into the woo that a biological paranthropus, everybody has these super abilities that they want to attribute to the Sasquatch, and it just doesn't need to be. They're miraculous enough if they exist. Just the fact that they do exist, is fantastic enough for me, that I don't have to attribute, spaceships and portals and 3-foot demon butt crunchers to make it even more fantastical than your Bigfoot. My Bigfoot's more fantastical than your Bigfoot because it came out of a portal.
Well, it makes me throw in one last thing for me. If they're coming through a portal, they must be using the portal as a portal potty because they're not leaving a lot of poop around.
That's right. They're not leaving a lot of poop around. I mean, Jesus. And with that, a bunch of poop is where we'll wrap this one up this week, guys.
Good night, all.
Thank you so much for being here tonight. I am the Reverend Jeff Kelly. That is the quasi-theorist, the Reverend Dean Cooper. And we'll see you next week. Oh, no. Actually, no, we won't see you next week. Here, let me, I won't be here next week. I will be in Gold Beach, Oregon with the Duncans who I don't know why they didn't check in tonight, but I think maybe it was Mary's birthday, so that's probably what they were doing. Happy birthday, Mary. If that's the case, if it was last week, I might have missed it, but I don't think that was the case. So, yeah, we will see you guys on Monday. We will be gone all next week. Maybe if you guys are good, we'll do a live show on Wednesday night if I can get the YouTube, if I can get the StreamYard to work from my phone. We'll see. I can't promise anything.
Okay.
But with that, if not next week, we'll see you the week after. All right, everybody, be well, and may the squatch be with you. You.
Oh.